I'm with Jimmy and Edward, two Romanian chaps who are working in, or have been working in Jersey for some years. Things have got a bit rotten now because jobs are not so easy to find and they've lost their jobs for various reasons which they may explain. But I want to talk to them about the system, registration cards, and how this is, the impact it's having for people from outside the island. What's going on? Is it affected you yet, Jimmy?
Yes, indeed, it's starting to affecting us because several rules that has been taken by the Jersey government. It's putting a stop to the people to change their jobs first, and it doesn't encourage anymore the immigration, because first of all, okay, we understand that they are complaining that the number of immigration is starting to rise, but as well the money that is going to the government is rising as well.
If you stop your job, obviously if there are other jobs you can go to, it makes it, if you're in a job which you don't like and it's more difficult to take another job, that makes you stay in a job you don't like. Is that a problem?
It's starting to be a very big problem, and I think that even the high specialist doctors, they can say something like this, because you feel yourself pressed to stay in that job, which it doesn't give you, it's gonna give you only depression and anxiety, because if you're for a long term you're gonna start to be unhappy, then you're gonna see the results after that.
Edward, you arrived this year for the first time in Jersey.
No, in 2010.
2010. And because you arrived in 2010, you haven't had to get a registration card yet. Is that correct? You didn't get a registration card. You've got a health card.
Yes, I have.
So you can go to the doctor and possibly go to the hospital and get treatment, these sort of things. But you can't get income support. In other words, you're not working now.
Yeah.
So that means you have to spend what savings you have? Or?
Yes, yes.
So that is difficult. That is very difficult.
Yes.
Is that unfair, do you think? Do you think that's not fair? Because obviously you've paid...
Yes, unfair, it's normal.
You've paid Social Security?
Yes.
Since 2010?
Yeah.
So that you think ought to entitle you to some payment?
Yes.
In other places, now, have you worked in England? Have you worked in England, did you say?
In Dublin, Ireland.
In Dublin. Now, in other places, if you leave the place, you can claim back things like income tax.
Yes.
Would that, you've obviously paid income tax here because it's taking out.
Yeah.
Would that make the system fairer, do you think, if you were able to claim back your income tax?
Yes. Well.
Right. What do you think about that, Jimmy? Is that the sort of system? Because obviously it's so difficult if you're living in a place, you can't take any job, you're very restricted in the jobs you can take, and you've got to pay your rent.
Well, the thing is, when I've been living in England, yeah, first the London government, they put us on for everybody. If you earn less than £5,300 in a year, a gross pay, they will gonna give you all the taxes back, except made by the social national insurance number, which that one you can't receive it back. It's for good for your life, yeah. But all the income tax, you'd receive it back up to £5,300. But even if you earn more, and after a while you want to live like I did, well, they will gonna calculate for you, and up to the money that you've paid, they will gonna give it to you. Apart from that money, they will gonna give it to you back when you're leaving. So
so that people here can understand, in England, if you lose your job, you're out of work, after a while you can claim back income tax.
Yes, indeed.
And if you leave the country, if you leave England entirely,
you're going to receive your income tax.
They'll pay back all your income tax, or a large part of it.
Or large part of
your income tax.
Yeah, depends on the period that you stayed and how much you earn. You know, but you're still receiving a big part from the tax.
Because obviously, people like yourself, you've worked in Jersey, you've paid Social Security. What happens to those Social Security payments? Because for 5 years, unless you're 5 years continuous, you can't claim anything.
They're going to stay in Jersey.
They're going to stay in Jersey.
They're unfortunately, yes.
Will they go to a pension for you eventually?
No. I don't think so. No. It's not going to go in any pension, because we don't have pension registration with the Jersey government in here.
Right.
and we are staying for 3 years working here. When we leave, we don't receive nothing back.
Now, you're Romanian, but it's exactly the same for Polish, Portuguese, English, Scottish, French. Doesn't matter where they come from. If they're from outside the island, they're all in the same situation.
Unfortunately, it's true.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have to say it's true. Yeah. And we're asking, where is our money going? Because if I'm gonna have to wait until I'm gonna reach 70 years old, I may not be able to come to take end. I think the Jersey government, they know that they are not gonna come at 70 years old to come in Jersey to claim £5 per week or something like that, which you work for them in here, wherever, you know. And all of this money, what I'm concerned, why they don't let those money, even if they don't pay it in cash, even if they don't give us money in cash, I don't want it like that, yeah. But to transfer all the payments that we did in here to our country. I understand to pay them in here, but even if you don't give us 100% back, at least 70% has to go back to Romania or Poland or wherever, Portugal, whatever.
Because obviously, if the situation is they're trying to force local people to take the jobs that are available, and they're trying to stop people like you taking the jobs. Now, at least if they gave you your tax back, you'd have some money if you wanted to leave, if you were forced to leave, you'd have some money to go away so you could start somewhere else, back in Romania or some other place.
I would be more than happy like the France they did, or like other country which they proposed, they said they wanted to pay some immigrants to leave their countries. Of course, if they're going to give me now £20,000, I'm going to leave tomorrow.
Would you?
Jersey, yes. Instead of paying stay to pay taxes in here, and after a while to leave without any benefits, so what's the point? And now they put us 5-year residency, and we are more qualified than many people which have those 5-year residency, and we still need to take the very poor jobs. You know, so we don't understand that this in 21st century should be considered as a discrimination.
Obviously, this is it. The discrimination is supposed to be an issue across all of Europe. It is strange that Jersey can operate the laws in the way that they do. In Romania, what would be the situation? Could a Jersey person work in Romania or not?
With no problems.
No problem.
With no problems at all. You can come as a Jersey person. They consider you as a British person, and you can work in any parts of in any industry in Romania.
We don't know how many Romanians there are in Jersey.
Around 6,000-7,000.
You reckon as many as that?
Depends on the seasons. Many of them they living in October, November. Many of them they living. So we don't know exactly how many they are set in here to stay during the winter as well.
Do you know of other people, Romanians or Portuguese or Polish, who are finding this difficulty? Is it general? Is this what's happening? People getting squeezed for? That's the word.
I think yes, and I know from Jersey people as well.
Yeah.
And because there are many Jersey people who wants to leave Jersey after they want to go to the schools. I met young people which they said we can't afford to buy a house in Jersey, and they're born in Jersey. You know, and the wages which they take it from, they have it from here. They are not enough for them to have to make the payment for the mortgages. Yeah.
Do you, Edward, whilst you've been here, have you ever thought about joining a trade union? Has anybody suggested to you that might be useful?
Sorry?
A trade union? Do you?
Într-un consiliu de asta României, ceva?
No.
Nobody.
No.
If you were in Romania, would you be a member of a trade union if you were working there? Or is it not very strong there?
Se vorbește ca și sindicat, dacă te-ai fi băgat în așa ceva în România.
No.
No? Is it true to say, I mean, obviously we've seen what happened in Romania, they've had political troubles. Would you say you're not political people, you're not very politically minded?
Well, politics, it's been quite headache during the centuries, yeah,
Right.
for everybody, and it's hard to understand what is happening behind the doors. But anyway, the people, they never gonna know exactly the truth what's happening in their countries, and this is available for all the countries in the world. In a part, I agree with that because it's about it's about national security for each country. Yeah? but politics in Romania, which is quite upsettable for us. We let the British people to come to us, Germans, Japanese, or wherever. They come into Romania and they are full entitled to take any jobs. And when we come in here, like I said before, we can't do it. And we are European citizens.
I've asked a number of Romanians about a consul, why there's no consul representation in Jersey. Now, the Polish had a consul, I think they still have a consul, the Irish used to have a consul, the French used to have a consul, but no Romanian consul. Does anybody, do you know if anybody comes over from London to see what's going on here? Does anybody ask questions?
No, not at all. Not at all. Actually, the Romanians, they are not represented in London if you're living in Jersey.
They're not?
The embassy, the Romanian embassy from London, they don't recognize Romanian citizens from Jersey.
Have you any idea why that is?
Because they don't have a consul in here.
Right.
So as long as they don't have a department to check all the documents for everybody to have usually Romania is like this. They are very strict in registrations, and they want you to know. They want to know wherever you do, where you're going. You know what I mean? It's like it's a high secure, and if you are out from their system, so they're gonna consider, sorry, we can't help you unless you go to London and you have a proof of address that you're living in London, and they're gonna check for you.
Right.
You know, in Romania, they're gonna give a few calls or something like that, and they're gonna check for you if you are exactly Romanian citizen. Where have you been born or whatever.
Another issue that's been mentioned to me is about driving licences. That it's an unfair system that you have to take. You've got Romanian driving licences, you've got them. They're not accepted here. After 6 months you have to get a Jersey driving licence. And even if you pass your test, I think you were saying in the UK, they won't accept your UK driving licence. You still have to take a Jersey driving licence. Now that's the sort of thing a consul perhaps could possibly take up if you had representation, isn't it?
Well, that depends about the Jersey government as well, because one person can't fight with 100. Yeah, depends how the Jersey laws they're gonna change, because we have professional with high skill drivers from Romania, and they just want to come in here. You just take a category B or something like that, a small category, to drive just a normal car.
Right.
And after 6 months you need to change it, like you said. Unless you're gonna have to pull over.
Right.
And actually, for example, I have a case. One of my friends, he been to London for about 4 months from here. He just want to move in there for a short term, and he changed his driving license from Romanian to. He used to live in Jersey, and he changed it from Romanian to English. And when he came back to Jersey this year with the English one, they said we can't change it. You know, we need to pass the test if you want to stay, if you want to have it.
I've no idea why.
And it's happening with Spanish people. My brother, he's he's Romanian, yeah, and he's having for about 12 years he's having a Spanish driving license.
Right.
And even with that, you can't. I don't think you can change it in here. You still need to pay a fee of changing, or unless that you need to pass the driving test. They start to put a stop with the people to having the Jersey driving license, and I don't know why.
If you're living in Jersey, do you get a vote in Romanian elections?
No.
Why is that? Do you know?
Because you don't have an embassy.
Because you don't. So, but if you had an embassy here or a consul,
they're gonna be
you could
elections.
have the vote.
Yes, indeed. We have it in London and everywhere, in Italy, Spain, Greece. We have like that.
Have you ever voted in local elections, Jersey elections?
I don't think we are entitled to do that if we have less than 5 years. And nobody says
I think the rule is after 2 years residence you could vote.
So probably on the next ones.
Maybe you'll even stand for election if they change the rules.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there are difficulties for all people who come to Jersey, but do you think the language, like if you go to Social Security now, you get some information in Polish, some information in French, I think, but There's nothing that I could see in Romanian. Is there anything published in
No,
Romanian?
nothing in Romania. No.
Is that a problem? Because obviously not everybody you speak reasonably good English, but is it a problem for some Romanians, obviously freshly arrived?
Definitely, of course.
Is it?
Imagine if an English is going to Romania and he doesn't know Romanian. We usually have in 3 languages, English, German and French, documents, and can you imagine a British if you go to Romania and you don't have something like this?
Do they offer a translator if you go there? Is there anybody at the counter? Do they say, oh, we got somebody here who speaks Romanian?
We have one lady in the Jersey police.
In the police, but not at Social Security if you go to
No.
Right. The future for people, for Romanians and all the groups that have come here, because obviously we're reading about the registration card and how local people are having to go to schools and pay £5 to prove that they were here. Now new arrivals are having to pay £75. Do you think that will discourage people? Do you think that will say, oh, we're not going to pay £75 just to register when there's no guarantee I get a job, no guarantee I'll have somewhere? Do you think that would discourage people?
I think so, yes. Like I said before as well, it's discouraging because you don't encourage the people to come anymore in here. Even the tourism in Jersey is starting to go very down because of the high money which the island is asking for, not very good services.
On one of the local ferry companies, they were talking about Ukrainian guys working there for something like £2 an hour. Is that something you have any knowledge of? I mean, the fact that sort of exploitation. They were saying because it's cheaper for Ukrainians to live in Ukraine, so that money, £2 an hour, is reasonable money in Ukraine. But that seems to be total exploitation to me. If they're on a British ship working in the Channel Islands, they ought to get a proper wage. Do you find that there's that sort of exploitation because you're from outside the island? Does that happen?
Well, it's happening in some places. It happens.
Does it?
It happens. But some people, they are very clever, and they want to cover all of this. So that's why you're not gonna see them on the TV or something like that.
You're Edward. You're out of work now. You don't get any support, financial support.
No.
How will you survive? What will happen?
I borrow money from my friends,
Yeah.
Romanian friends. What can I do?
Right. How long can that go on for, do you think?
I have already 2 weeks with no work.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Okay, what do you think? Is the church, I know you're a member of the local church, is the church helpful in these sort of things?
Sorry?
Is the church helpful? I know you're a member of a local church. Is it helpful?
It is very helpful. I find people very kind, and I didn't know about they having a good relation in the relationship with the Romania. And I find very good people and people with heart in there. But I'm not looking in there to look after the benefits like other people. They go in, for the churches to take the money. It's not about that. It's only just about being Christian and the religion that we sharing go on to each other, But I think, like you said, the part with the jobs, it's most it should be actually in the attention of the government to provide more jobs, because we have problem with the Jersey people, which they don't have jobs, and they prefer to stay on the social instead of going off. And I agree with that. Instead of wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go for £7 an hour to work. Because, okay, we are immigrants, we understand that sometimes it's not like in our countries, you can't be all the time happy, and happy smile and faces, but even as the Jersey peoples, they have such a lot of problems, and I find very confused for the youngsters which are born in here, and you need to have to pay to be proved in the social security that you exist. This is something which I don't know.
It's very strange.
It's very strange, and I never happened like that, not even in the communism in Romania. No. So yes, it's like it's quite sad. It's quite sad, with these changes, because we're just living in a free world, and what we want is just to have some good rates of pay, and to be respected for what we do.
What do you think the rate of pay ought to be? What's the lowest rate of pay you've had in Jersey?
The minimum wage.
Minimum wage, £6.
Yes, something
Going
like
to
that.
£6.30, £6.40.
But I took it like that as well, but I went up to £8 an hour. And £10 sometimes. But it's not something static. It's fluctuating all the time. So if you change job, you're gonna be less or higher. Depends.
Would that suit you? Could you live on £8 a week, Edward? £8 an hour, not £8 a week, £8 an hour?
Yeah.
Would that suit you? Could you make enough wages? I mean, if that sort of, even at that, I mean, that's just living wage. You're just living, aren't you? That's just a survival wage. You can't save much money out of that, can you?
Yeah, it's true.
Do you plan to send money back to Romania, or was that your plan when you came here?
Well, it is our plan as well, of course, to buy something in Romania, to invest in our country. As long as I invest in Jersey, I need to invest in my country as well.
Right.
So if I have money which is staying here as well for the Jersey states, I want that my country to have a profit from this as well. And basically it's our work, so everybody wants to keep a good relationship with their born countries.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we better end there. Anything else you want to say about it?
No, actually.
Okay.
That will be all for me as well.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much as well.
Bye.
Thank you.